I'm Stuart Taylor, and I waffle on about Formula One racing, and today I'm going to be watching Achievement Hunter taking on single-seater racing.
Hey man, what are we doing?
Hey, we're doing some of the open wheel races, Jack.
What is that? What's
So
an
these
open
like
wheel?
F1.
Oh,
F1
Yeah,
cars.
it's like F1
formula.
stuff.
How do you have an
Yeah.
open wheel? Then your tire has no air.
What Michael here is confused about is the term open wheel, which refers not to the wheel itself being open and thus letting out all the air, but that the wheel is out in the open and not enclosed within the chassis. Formula One is an open wheel series, unlike, say, NASCAR or Le Mans prototypes, which enclose the wheels. Now, Formula E is an interesting one because the Gen 2 chassis kind of encloses the wheels, but the updated Gen 2 Evo has kind of put them back out in the open again.
What
You gotta
the
pick your
hell?
tires.
There's different ones too. Oh, it looks like they're all the
hard,
same stats.
soft.
Do I want to be hard or
medium.
soft? What's the difference, Matt?
I'm gonna go with hard.
You don't
I'm gonna
know.
go soft.
You don't
I'm gonna go-
fucking-
So these, who I assume to be rookie drivers, seem unaware that the type of rubber you have on your tyre affects the way you go racing. It affects durability and it affects how grippy your tyre is. Softer rubber is grippier, but will run out quicker, whereas harder rubber will last for ages, but the grip you get from it is questionable.
I'm going
Confirm.
super soft, sprunk galore.
See, the driver grabbing Fee might find his tyres wearing out pretty quickly.
You do have to like go to pit stops and stuff.
You can do it like
Yeah.
So interestingly, these drivers made their tyre compound choices before they knew that they have to make a pit stop. In real Formula One, the drivers all know ahead of time they'll have to make a pit stop. So this isn't very realistic.
You can't.
Oh, you
no.
rinsed me. Oh, you killed
what happened to my
me.
car?
Now here, drivers Germany and Grabin have got into a bit of an accident. They've lost some bodywork and most notably their wings.
Oh, so much understeer. Damn it.
Understeer.
So here Grabin is complaining about understeer, meaning he can't turn the car into the corner as he'd like it. Now whether he's understood that that's because he's missing a front wing, we have yet to see.
Really? Maybe hard
Yeah.
oversteers and soft understeers?
No, he has not. So the front wing gives the front tyres grip, meaning a strong front wing allows the tyres to yank the cars into the corner properly. Grabin doesn't have one of those at the moment, so he is experiencing a lot of understeer.
No, Michael, I see you back
When
there.
do you go to the pit stop? When your tire grip is bad or your health or...
I mean, kind
10
of both.
laps?
So in real Formula One, the drivers would have made a strategy with their team about when they're going to come into the pits. Several strategies, in fact. They would have had a plan A, a plan B, and so on, depending on what happens as the race unfolds. The driver here, Nigel, not knowing what his strategy is, even though he's already done a whole lap, would be concerning to me.
Oh no.
I went into the pit to see what would happen.
Did you get pitted?
Yeah, it takes a
Yeah, you
long
gotta slow
time.
down, man.
So Grabin pits here, and you'll see his car gets repaired in an instant. Now, interestingly, it's not that different from real life, where a normal pit stop will take about 3 seconds of stoppage time. Obviously, you can't change the bodywork and the front wing in that time, but nonetheless, it kind of demonstrates just how quick a Formula One pit stop really is.
Fun too, I think.
Boost enabled. How do you do that?
With the boost button.
Formula One cars don't have a boost button, but they can turn up the power of the engine and the electric motor. In fact, they did used to have a boost button. It was very weak and it lasted about 6 seconds, but it did recharge once a lap.
How do you regain boost?
Just builds up.
I think it's just over time or being good.
Mine's not refilling. Oh,
Maybe
when you
your
let go
car's
of the
broken.
throttle.
Oh, really?
So this is very similar to the way a hybrid engine in Formula One recharges its battery and allows its electric motor to work properly. Taking your foot off the throttle switches the power flow, meaning instead of the engine powering the car is now recharging the electric battery. So yeah, good job.
What's up,
You're right,
guys?
Gavin.
Oh my God, what are you
apologize.
doing? Waiting
Good to see
what
you,
are you
man.
doing? What are you doing? Matt, get off
Take me.
Matt!
Take me, Jerry.
So what these single-seaters don't seem to have, which is mandatory in modern Formula One, is a halo. It's a small protective cage over where the driver sits, which stops them getting hit by debris, tyres, or in this case, other cars. And it's something that would be quite useful for Germany right now, as Mort is sitting right on top of him in his car, which would be very dangerous in real life Formula One. These are older model cars though, so I guess it checks out.
What did I knock off?
My spoiler on the back.
Oh, I clipped you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I lost
Whoa!
the spoiler in the.
What happened? You lost it. I just wanted to pass you. I didn't want you to fall from grace so hard.
Oh God, I've gotten. Oh, that spoiler not being there is actually really affecting me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You
Does it actually do something?
So in real Formula One, drivers are aware of what the various parts of their car do. Contrary to popular belief, rear wings, front wings, and various parts of the car aren't just there because they look cool. And without a rear wing, your car will start spinning like an ice dancer every time you try and put the power down. The driver here, Germany Cruelly, should have known that before he got in the car. So, unrealistic. Also, they keep calling it a spoiler when it's actually a rear wing. Those aren't quite interchangeable. A rear wing is an aerodynamic device that adds downforce to the car at the rear end. A spoiler is it's supposed to get into the way of the air to slow it down so that your car doesn't lift up due to pressure differences.
Some sprunkings here is rough.
I'm
and when
Lewis
you reset it,
Hamilton.
it keeps the car the way it
No one
was.
knows who that is.
No one knows who Lewis Hamilton is?
I don't
He's
know.
a decathlon person,
Oh,
right?
I thought he was related to Alexander.
He's the chief. He's the chief accountant for Formula One.
So Lewis Hamilton is a moderately successful Formula One driver, not the chief accountant. It seems a little unrealistic that a professional single-seater racing driver wouldn't know this. The actual chief financial officer is a guy named Duncan Chluak. And most racing drivers probably won't know that.
I'm going to be like Lightning McQueen, and I'm not going to pit, and then
I wish you could change your tires
in
and
the
spin,
last
right?
lap. Yeah. What's
When
up?
you get fresh ones.
Yeah, I wish you could switch type.
So in real Formula One, not only can you change the tyre type during a pit stop, but it's actually mandatory that you do it at least once during a race. You are not allowed to complete an entire race on one type of tyre unless it's raining and you're using a wet tyre.
Oh, you f***ed me. I'm spinning out now.
Did I knock your spoiler off?
No. Oh, wait. I don't even know.
Wait,
dude. I
no,
don't think
that's-
so.
So here Nigel has been spinning his tyres up after a bit of an incident earlier, and he's worn the rubber right down to nothing, which means he's got no grip left in his tyres. And now he's just spinning all over the road. This does happen. Kimi Räikkönen once got right to the end of the life of his tyres and lost about 10 places in one lap in a Chinese Grand Prix once. And similarly here, we're about to see, I think, Nigel losing the lead. Now, unlike the graphic here in the bottom right, in Formula One, they don't really able to monitor tyre grip. That's more comes from the driver feel and reporting it back to the team. But they do have a lot of monitors on the tyres, including things like temperature and pressure, and they'll keep an eye on the TV feed to look for signs of damage and wear like that. But nothing that tells them what the tyre grip levels are.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I lost a tire.
Like it fell off?
You
Scraping.
lost it, or oh.
I have one tire flat, one tire gone.
So yeah, this can happen too. Once you push the tyre rubber beyond its limits and it starts to overheat, it can wear to the point where it breaks, where you get a puncture. And at that point, the tyre will often evacuate from the wheel because it's being spun so fast that the tyre rubber will fly off the wheel. Or at certain temperatures, the rubber just won't be able to hold together in the same way, and any slight fractures in it will cause an eventual puncture and degradation. Yeah, so this can happen. We see it with damaged tyres, fairly frequently in Formula One. Now, what Nigel here should have done once he knew he was right at the very end of his tyre life is he should have nursed those tyres like a baby goose that had been injured in some kind of horrific car crash all the way back to the pits, keeping it safe. But instead, he pushed it too hard, and now the tyre's gone.
No!
I have Lightning McQueen, just as predicted.
You get it, you!
Yeah, he's a real stink bot.
If this were real Formula One, Grabin would have been disqualified and probably given at least a race ban. Deliberately crashing into people is more than frowned upon in European single-seater racing, and will probably have got you kicked out of your series and fired by your team, and all you'd have left was a lucrative IndyCar deal, so it's really not worth it.
chance. There's a chance.
Oh, I'm scraping.
No, those guys are right.
I'm scraping.
So it's game over at this point, right, for Michael. In real life, if you lose the rubber from both tyres, you're not getting home. In fact, Formula One cars are so low and the sort of inflated rubber part of the tyres are so large that once you puncture both tyres, the rear of the floor is hitting the ground. What Nikon needs to do here is park the car up safely away from the track and walk back to
The safety car comes straight out.
Someone would drag your ass off. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even finish. I was fucking 100 feet away and I didn't even finish. I went from first to DNF.
Okay, so in Formula One, you are allowed to finish the lap you're on once the leader has completed the race. Even if you're like 7 laps behind, you're still allowed to finish your lap. And they won't just DNF you like this. That's a little bit humiliating for Nicole here. So while Achievement Hunter got a lot of things right here in their take on single-seater racing, particularly around the physics, the downforce from the wings, the damage to the tyres, the grip levels, the one thing that I really distinguished it from real life was the flagrant disrespect to the rules. Even before this modern PC gone mad era of disgustingly over-regulating to protect driver lives and stop people from cheating, you would have at least got a jolly good finger wagging for trying to drive straight into another car. So while this has some merits, I would recommend watching the real thing, which should be back any day now. Any day.